Good day, everyone! Are you excited?
Yes, we were so excited!
How about you guys? Are you excited too?
I know you were so excited too, because we're also excited to take you in a journey into the fascinating world of archetypes in literature!
But wait, I think we forgot something.
Yes, you're right! Before we begin our journey, let us first look at the summary of the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the J.K. Rowling!
It's done!
So now, we are here. Archetypes in literature in media. First, what is an archetype? An archetype is like a universal model or blueprint of human behavior, personality, or storytelling. It's a pattern that shows up again and again in myths, books, movies, and even real life. For example, no matter what culture you look at, you'll find characters like the wise old man, the brave hero, the trickster, or the loving mother. Next, let us meet Carl Gustav Jung, the founder of the concept of archetypes. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychologist, born in 1875. He was a student of Sigmund Freud, but later developed his own ideas, which we now call analytical psychology. The concept of archetypes was made popular by Carl Gustav Jung, 1875 to 1961, a Swiss psychologist and student of Sigmund Freud. Jung noticed that people from very different cultures, like Europe, Africa, Asia, Americas, told stories with very similar characters and themes. He said these patterns come from the collective unconscious, a part of the human mind that we all share, filled with inherited memories, images, and instincts. So Jung didn't invent archetypes. They always been a human culture, but he was the one who gave a scientific explanation and a name for them. So, why did Jung develop this idea of archetypes? First is to explain why stories feel familiar. Even if you've never read Greek myths, you'll still recognize the hero's journey in modern movies like Harry Potter or Star Wars. Second, why people share common symbols. A mother is almost always seen as nurturing, a villain as dark as dangerous across all societies. Third is why we connect to characters. Archetypes helps us understand human behavior because they represent deep truth about human nature. Because of Carl Jung, we can understand why certain stories and characters feel familiar across different cultures. His work continues to inspire psychology, literature, and even popular films. Truly, he is the man who gave us the key to understanding these timeless patterns of human nature.
So, the archetypes, they came from the collective unconscious, which is like a shared memory bank of humanity. Myths, legends, religions, and folk tales from different times and places all drew from this unconscious. That's why a hero in Greek mythology, like Hercules, feels similar to a modern hero in Marvel movies. In simple words, archetypes were not made up like a story character. They are discovered patterns of human experience that exist across time and culture. Jung just gave them a name and explained them. So we're moving on. We are here now on male archetypes. We have 8 male archetypes. These represent recurring male characters, roles in literature, film, and media. The chief. The chief archetype is a leader who guides others with authority and vision. He makes important decisions, sets the direction for others, and often holds wisdom that others depend on. Sometimes he may seem distant, but his leadership is steady and reliable. For example, Dumbledore is the chief of Hogwarts, leading the school with calm wisdom while secretly preparing Harry for his greater destiny.
The bad boy. The bad boy is rebellious, proud, and often goes against authority or rules. He carries a sense of arrogance and charm, but hides insecurity behind his bravado. This character usually creates conflict for the hero. Example: Draco Malfoy constantly challenges Harry, mocking him for being poor and famous, and represents the rebel spirit that strives on rivalry.
Best friend. The best friend is loyal, dependable, and always ready to support the main hero. He may not always be the smartest or the bravest, but he values teamwork and puts friendships above personal gain. His strength comes from standing beside others. Example: Ron Weasley is Harry's best friend, always sticking with him through challenges, even playing a life-size wizard chess game to help Harry reach the Sorcerer's Stone.
The charmer. The charmer archetypes is playful, fun-loving, and often the life of the group. This character avoids seriousness and responsibility, preferring laughter, pranks, and mischief. Their role is to lighten tense moments and bring joy. For example, Fred and George Weasley constantly play pranks and make Hogwarts brighter, showing that humor can be just as powerful as bravery.
The lost soul. The lost soul is mysterious, secretive, and often misunderstood. He hides pain or a troubled past, which makes him appear distant or even unkind. Deep down, this archetype has vulnerability, but it is carefully guarded. For example, Professor Snape. Professor Snape seems cold and cruel, but his dark personality and hidden motives hint at a deeper story beyond what Harry knows.
The Professor. Professor Quirrell. The Professor archetype is logical, intellectual, and dedicated to knowledge. He may seem strict, shy, or boring, but he values truth and rules. Sometimes, these archetypes hide secrets beneath a calm or tame surface. Example: Professor Quirrell first appears nervous and harmless, but as the story unfolds, he is revealed as secretly working with Voldemort.
The swashbuckler. The swashbuckler is adventurous, brave, and full of life. He loves excitement, doesn't fear danger, and often brings others into daring situations. His strength is physical courage and love of exploration. For example, Hagrid fearlessly raises a dangerous dragon and protects Harry, showing both his boldness and his heart. Example: Hagrid fearlessly raises a dangerous dragon and protects Harry, showing both his boldness and his big heart.
The Warrior, Harry Potter. The warrior is the courageous hero who steps forward to face challenges, even when he is afraid. He may begin reluctantly, but he develops the strength and determination to protect others. This archetype fights not just for himself but also for justice and love. Example: Harry Potter becomes the warrior when he chooses to face Voldemort, even though he is just a boy, proving his bravery and heart.
Let's move on to female archetypes. We have 8 female archetypes. These represent common female character patterns.
The Boss, Professor McGonagall. The archetype is strong, commanding, and respected. She sets high standard for others, expects discipline, and guides people with authority. While she may seem strict, her leadership comes from care and responsibility. Example: Professor McGonagall enforces the rules at Hogwarts, but she also defends her students fiercely when they are in danger.
The Survivor. The survivor is tough, practical, and hardened by life. She sees people quickly and knows how to protect herself emotionally or socially. Often, this archetype hides vulnerability under a layer of toughness. Example: Petunia Dursley may not seem warm, but as Harry's aunt, she endures her bitterness and fear of the magical world while keeping Harry in her home.
Kid, Hermione Granger. The spunky kid is outspoken, confident, and afraid to challenge others. She is smart, lively, and willing to speak her mind even if it means breaking the rules. Her energy and boldness inspire others. For example, Hermione Granger proves herself spunky when she bravely joins Harry and Ron on adventures, despite her strict rule-following natures at first.
The free spirit. The free spirit archetype is carefree, fun, and not bound by rules or expectations. This character often brings a sense of freedom and imagination. For example, in later books, Luna Lovegood fits this archetype, though in Sorcerer's Stone no female character clearly represents it.
The Waif. The Waif archetype is innocent, gentle, and often appears vulnerable, making others feel the need to protect them. This character may struggle with fear, weakness, or clumsiness, but their purity of heart and quiet courage inspires others. The Waif reminds us that even the weakest looking person has certain strength waiting to be discovered. Example: Neville Longbottom fits the Waif archetype in Sorcerer's Stone because he is shy, clumsy, and often picked on. Yet, he shows surprising bravery, like when he tries to stop Harry, Ron, and Hermione from sneaking out at night, proving that vulnerable can be strong.
The Librarian, Madame Pins. The librarian archetype is proper, organized, and sometimes strict. Beneath the serious personality lies a passion for knowledge and order. She ensures that wisdom is preserved and respected. Example: Madame Pins, the Hogwarts librarian, is very protective of the library, books, and represent discipline and knowledge. Crusader. Hermione Granger. The Crusader is a fearless, action-driven woman who fights for what she believes in. She values justice, loyalty, and the pursuit of truth. These archetypes will not hesitate to step into danger for a cause. For example, Hermione Granger constantly pushes Harry and Ron to do the right thing, like stopping Voldemort from stealing the Sorcerer's Stone.
The Nurturer. The nurturer cares for others deeply and gives love and protection freely. She represents warmth, safety, and comfort, often filling the role of a parent or guardian. For example, Molly Weasley treats Harry like one of her own children, giving him love and kindness that he never received from the Dursleys.
What did you learn today?